Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And a while ago I did a video on this set. This is the 123 piece MAC grip ratcheting 1/4 inch hex screwdriver set. And it's actually a pretty decent set as far as coverage, as far as the quality. This driver, not too bad. The T-handle, I'm not a big fan of this one. Very thick up here, doesn't fit in the hand, but a great array of bits. Problem is this thing's like $220 now for this set, which I think is kind of outrageous. What I'd suggest instead of this is to get this Sonex bit set here, which I've done a video on. It doesn't have quite the reach, and this like stops at an 8mm hex where the MAC goes to a 10, and there are a couple of other specialty bits. But you could get this, which is $59 right now, and this snap-on screwdriver, and still be less than that MAC set. And then you might be thinking, well, gee, I really want a T-handle. Well, you could throw this entire Klein T-handle ratcheting set in as well and still be under the price of the MAC. So there's that. But if you are interested in just throwing your money away, you might as well go after this snap-on set here, because you can get something like this for maybe $500 is what one of these sets cost, because it's got that driver, it's got all the extensions, and it's got all of this. So there's got to be at least $200 worth of stuff in here. But the case then is another $300 because it says snap-on as far as I can tell. But anyway, this Sonex set, I've had great luck with it. I did misplace one bit down here. I still haven't found that. But this is $59. When I got it, which was about 4 years ago, it was $55. So it hasn't gone up all that much. But what I'm here to talk about is this set here. This is the 42-piece MAC grip ratcheting 1/8 inch hex bit screwdriver set. And I thought if this other MAC set right here was really good, then this one should be good. And I was looking for a ratcheting 1/4 inch or 4mm bit driver. Snap-on makes one or sells one. I'm not sure who makes it for them, but it doesn't have that position in the middle that allows the ratchet to be fixed, and I really think that's essential in a ratchet. And when I looked at it years ago, that was missing, and that's a deal killer for me. But the ratcheting mechanism on this is nothing to write home for. These bits are probably great. I assume they're very similar to, other quality 4mm bits. Getting them out of here is kind of hard. There are a couple of ways. You can try to push them forward and then pry it out. I mean, it is really in there tight. If you just grab one, you can, easily shake the case. And I worry if you pry out some of these little tiny ones, like that guy or this one up here, this 0.7 hex, that there's a chance you may end up breaking the tip off the bit. And then getting them in, you kind of have to push it in like that and then slide it. Now, ouch. And this set sells off the Mac truck for about $105. And there are way better drivers. Oh, I was going to show you what that one's like. I got to get a bit out again. I'll get the one I'm going to need here. Right here, I think it's the P0. So pry that out. Once it's in here, and this is just held in by that ball bearing detent, that's the amount of play, which is quite a bit for not going anywhere. You see that? That's almost like the swing arm of a good ratchet. But once you're in there, not bad. So this is a decent set. I think it is actually it's a good set. I just think it's wildly overpriced, and this is a huge case. Most bit sets of this size, if you look, it's 42 pieces, so there's about 40 bits in here, the ratchet, and then this flexible extension. But anyway, I needed to work on this lens. It's not behaving right now, so I was going to open it up and see if something's going on. I hear a little noise inside there, so this would be a good time to play around with the tool and see how that ratcheting mechanism works. You end up hitting the back drag, and once you do, once you hit the back drag, then you have to add a little bit. It'd be nice if there was some knurling. You saw how I started spinning that. Put that one there and line this up. But anyway, once you get going, it's a nice little driver. It does have a spinning cap on the end. But for the price, I think it's pretty crazy. I mean, MAC Tools seems to be asking Snap-on equivalent prices for overseas made stuff that in turn is probably, I don't know, not the best quality, the best, I don't know, I mean, it's probably decent quality, but it definitely does not have that high quality feel. It does not feel like a precision instrument. And unfortunately then when that happens, the whole kit just doesn't feel as good. This one, nice, the quarter hex, that driver, I mean, that's metal right there. It's just actually, it just reeks with quality. This one, not so much. And then the bits, they used the same concept here, as far as holding the bits, but these are so small that there's just not a lot to grab, so that's kind of unfortunate. But anyway, won't let you spend a ton of time watching this, but if you do like working with precision tools, this little kit is something to think about. Especially if you can get them used, and I do know they float around. This is the SBDR42SA is what it's called. And again, off Mac Truck, they're $105. So that means they're probably about $104 on eBay. Anyway, thought you might like to see one of those if you're into small ratcheting 4mm bit holders. See the little Mac logo there? Come on. There we go. It's starting to get a little cold in the shop. But anyway, I would avoid this one. Definitely get the better one. And then don't hesitate, piecing together your bit set. Doesn't have a nice case. I mean, if you want the case, great. But that Sunex and this Snap-on I would take any day over that Mac set. But let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.